putting my money in the bag for a Beatrix being picked up from Hiko. In fact, we have normally always seen Hiko being first pick, and we will always want to see Hiko being prioritized for his lane picks. But this time it's completely different. It's completely off the script. But they do now have the advantage to play around with how they want this gold laner to be and how the gold laner's positioning is going to be against Homebois, who is stacked up for a death ball comp.
And I like the Damos pick as well, right? Completely forgot about that. Here we go.
Oh, Joy!
Joy. We saw that in the wildcards, and we talk about the far side as well for Udio. Very straightforward pick for Homebois. Very telegraphed. Felt like I know them like the back of my palm. But this Joy pick, assassin against assassin, you talk about big magic damage snowball. I mean, Homebois have it.
It's kind of tough to really draft against Homebois, isn't it? I mean, even when we want to answer an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, high ground for a high ground, putting a Beatrix in Team Spirit might actually be relatively difficult because there is just so many counters. We are looking at a Joy, we have a Joy, we have a Terizla, and as well as Ala. They all can just jump onto this Beatrix, no issues. So honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if we are to see the Ruby going into the gold lane again, just so that the gold lane would not be heavily prioritized in terms of being killed over and over.
Yeah, absolutely. I think right now, for the side of Team Spirit, they're gonna go for the Tigro again. So second time coming for Sawo. I mean, so there's been a change to Joy's ultimate, right? The Electrifying Beaks no longer gives you CC immunity, but it doesn't mean that it's easy to catch her still, right? She's still mobile. She does get slow immunity though. I'm looking forward to see what Team Spirit could do, but I want to hear win conditions from you.
I gotta have to say that with the amount of aggressiveness coming in from Homebois, they are definitely gonna be all out trying to pick up fights and trying to go for pickoffs. So pickoff potential onto the members of Team Spirit is ultimately super important, and especially since late game looking at a Ruby in the gold, I think that going off to the late game, even for Homebois, they would be relatively happy about that. With such a death ball-y scenario for Homebois, I think that early game is gonna be good too.
I do worry for a lineup whenever it has a Ruby gold lane, which means that your other carries will have to really step up the game. So we'll see, game 2, Team Spirit against Homebois. We'll see if Homebois can deliver sweet revenge with a clean sweep. Zorn, as always, trying to force out the retreat from Mark, gets it, no problem.
I definitely want to see Kid Bomba playing as a Thamus to really step up his game, because we know that Thamus is ultimately really strong at dueling. So as long as Kid Bomba constantly attack and damage over and over again, it is very tough for him to die, and he will be able to go off of very good trades against the opponents. That is, of course, with that all said and done, Thamus' main weakness is crowd control, which is something that Homebois does have quite a bit, you know, Sapad, especially with the with his penalty zone.
Zorn is just eating up all the damage as well. Damus, he does scale off pretty hard as the later the game goes, right? He's strong for the first 10 to 12 minutes, especially when he has Vengeance. So we'll see if I mean, how much can Kid Bomba do? It definitely relies on him to somehow get a lead. 30 more seconds until the first turtle spawns, and Chibi is gonna be right on the mark with the timing.
Yep. Down in the EXP lane, it's definitely going to be a pretty boring game because both of them is always going to be hiding. They don't want to give any free kills over to their opponent's side. You don't want to recall in this kind of dire situation, especially since the turtle is going to be popping out in 10 seconds. Your presence is very much expected to make a very big mark in the battles. Especially since Team Spirit, they play a lot on crowd control. With Hiko as well as Sawo, they need to find a lot of these damage output coming in from someone else. And in this case, it has to be Kid Bomba as well as Sunset Lover in the early stages of the game.
I mean, the first turtle up as well. He's not in a rush to get the objectives up, but it's going to be jumped on by Kid Bomba, but the damage not there just yet. Udio also arriving to provide assistance. And clearly, you can see both assassins not really prioritizing the turtle as much. Sabo will not able to get the push, and final slash from Zorn also goes wide. Both supports not able to find a catch just yet.
With that final slash actually being used, Team Spirit understandably would want to take a little bit more of that turtle control, just so that they know it's not gonna be that big of a problem anymore. but Team Spirit's Ling is actually quite a fair bit away from the objective. So Team Spirit, I think they are trying to look for something else here. They might have something more interesting.
Ness actually saw him as well, but Mars is gonna use it in time, penalty zone use. Chibi gets the turtle, and it's going to be just everyone on top of Support, and that is just first blood going over to Udio. A double kill for him as well. The artillery strikes just too devastating.
Sunset Lover picking up that feathered airstrike definitely been quite devastating to Homebois, but not quite enough, I gotta have to say. 2-1 is the current scoreline, and Homebois do have 1,000 goal advantage. In the meantime, Udil almost going down.
Blazing duet from Ness also. Sunset Lover actually goes down, so Net picks up a kill. That could not have gone any better.
So with that all said and done, top lane, they are still going at it.
And Maro now is the next target, gets clipped by the final slash, and Chibi finds that kill.
It's just all about aggression from Homebois. And luckily, they are playing that out. They're constantly trying to look up for this kind of pick potentials and trying to go for kills over and over and over again. But it really relies a lot onto Zorn. His movements have got to be on par. And Team Spirit, I think that Team Spirit is just lacking onto that mirror capability, whereby Savo is not exactly trying to look out for where Zorn is, especially since Zorn is one of the main playmakers of Homebois. If you're able to see where Zorn is constantly going about, you can actually avoid a lot of very potential team fights that would catch the side lanes off guard.
I think right now it's also, Homeboys in the zone as well. And that means that they can only get deadlier, and even Chibi finding Maro, right? Winning that by Savo, sucks him in with the implosion, but there's no follow-up. Still a better airstrike. Is it going to be enough? Well, seems like it is sufficient. They pick up the kill on the Chibi. Maro gets out as well. Higo able to find the catch onto Zorn, reel him in. Zorn flickers, vengeance, heals back up in time. The great escape of Zorn, both teams trading one.
Really crazy movements coming from Zorn. The only one that went down, understandably, is going to be Chibi. And Homebois have managed to get a good amount of trade on top of Team Spirit. And the turtle is still up right now. So one turtle to the side of Homebois, and this upcoming turtle is understandably going to be quite a big mark to Team Spirit if they want to get themselves back into the game and really be able to contest against Homebois. Especially since we're looking at a jungler for Marl, currently at level 8 and Chibi at level 9. It will be a tougher challenge for Team Spirit if Homebois Chibi is just going to be around.
Penalty zone, catching Kid Bomba and Savo. Zorn able to keep everyone away. Chibi gets the turtle, and now Feather Strike artillery support from Udil to find a kill onto Savo. Kid Bomba in the midst of things, trying to tank it all up. Sunset Lover with his own Feather Strike was not enough. Kid Bomba ends up going down without much in return. Hiko chased down to the ends of the earth. Nets finds the double kill, and Subba just stands there and takes the beating. He doesn't even go down. And Chibi once more, Maro, he is not safe at all. Loses everything. Homeboys finds 4 kills.
Now, with that 4 kills and with the current positioning of where Homebois is, they are definitely going to be getting a free bottom lane tier 1. And that is understandably going to further accentuate the amount of gold that Homebois have got in their pockets. Team Spirit not having a great time in the early game, and understandably based on their lineup, they're not exactly a team that will be extremely happy into the late stages too.
I mean, when you look at this replay, right? Team Spirit, Maro, he was looking for the perfect opportunity. Well, Sunset Lover was looking for the perfect opportunity to use the ult, but Maro just does not have the health to fight. And Chibi just got a Sky Piercer, so good luck surviving 10,000 volts from this Pikachu. Gonna completely just one-shot you. Not really sure how Team Spirit is gonna deal with that though, now that the current ultimate for Joy does not have fall-off damage, so it's gonna hurt even more.
9-2 is the current scoreline. Team Spirit, they want to look for more of these kills and these advantages, especially since their killing potential comes in from Marl and Kid Bomba in the later stages. Sunset Lover, especially picking up that Feathered Airstrike, is one of the main name of the game that we want for the early team fights.
Kid Bomba forces out the Vengeance up, but again catches the bag, and Ness is just gonna come in. It is a duet. Just dance, bit too beautiful. Chibi dies, but Team Spirit loses 4 again.
So with 4 down for the second time, we do have at least Marl trying to go for a trade for what they have lost already. So at least the tier 1 in the bottom lane is taken down. Marl is still trying to look for external ways to get themselves income. Since teamfight is not something that they can get their income anymore, it gotta have to be from waves, it gotta have to be from money bags from the turrets.
Even final slash to force out Maro's Tempest of Blade. Get the purple buff though at least. Homeboys will get the turtle for sure. I don't see Team Spirit contesting them in any capacity. In the driver's seat though, like what, 4,000 gold lead for Homeboys right now.
Team Spirit, they don't have a lineup that once again is all that amazing in wave clear. They do have Hiko with the wave clear though. I mean, understandably, if Hiko have decided to build up onto the Sea Halberd and a little bit more of damage items, they can clear wave pretty okay. But it all boils down to time. Hiko as a Ruby with 0 kills, 2 deaths and 1 assist, how far of an item can he actually get for himself? But in the meantime, we do have the replay coming up. Once again, it's always been Sapat. Sapat's ultimate and all the penalty zones is always super crucial that breaks apart Team Spirit's lineups. And whenever they wanted to do something, Sapat comes in and puts a break to all of that.
He is a hidden MVP for sure, right? His sets have been immaculate. Homeboy is taking control of almost the entire map. Maro trying to pick up scraps, obviously, to get a split push going and make sure that Homeboys always have waves that they need to fix. So what do we do with it? But I think Nance knows that Maro's in there. The Art of Thievery stops the recalls. Maro is found. Tempest of Blaze just to get invulnerability, but stunned on the end. The tip of the spear from Zorn is just lethal.
Oh boy, not how you want to end your life. Not being able to jump from obstacles to obstacles. Was hoping that his recall will be able to go off well, but that map control as well as those just Nats doing Nats things, I gotta have to say. He have very good idea of where his opponents is, and boy oh boy, Homeboys, they may actually be able to get a very convincing 2-1 off of Team Spirit.
Yeah, this 2-0 looking more and more realistic. Homeboys 14-3 so far. Lord coming up, but I don't see how Team Spirit can even contest the Lord, right? We're starting to get to the stage of the game where this Stamos is going to eventually have a spirited drop off. You know, he's like someone who ages rapidly, right? He's very strong when he's in his youth, but he also falls off very, very quickly.
Especially since as a Thamus, you want to hit in order to not die. It's very counterintuitive, but that is literally the kit of a Thamus. So if you're unable to stay alive even with your Quarter and Inferno and just hammering away with your corrosive scythe, what more can you do? The only thing that you can do is do a couple of damage and then you die a horrible death. So Team Spirit, they gotta have to find ways to really keep Kid Bomba alive, and that idea really boils down to all the burst amount of damage that Kid Bomba have to suffer, meaning Udil as well as Chibi. These two magic damage dealers really need to go, but I don't think that Team Spirit really have an answer to these two at this point in time.
I mean, unless Maro can get to the backline and kind of one-shot them, right? Or Hiko finds a good catch, but even then, it's a lot to ask for. Mid-tier 2 under siege. Homeboys, Team Spirit wants to hold on to the structure, but it's just not feasible. And even Maro, he has to give up the top side a little bit, right? He's doing his best to keep that minion wave under control, but Sapat is just going to cut the wave as well. So top side is going to be equalized, but Homeboy still sieging in the mid and bot.
So with the Lord just gonna be pillaging down to the bottom lane and Udil using up the feathered airstrike, Homeboys is posturing themselves to get a inhibitor down in the bottom lane, and Team Spirit can't even come in to stop all of that. So it's really an unfortunate situation from Team Spirit, but at least one thing that they can do is to bring down this baby Lord, which doesn't have a charge, and Homeboys have got more than just a bonus out of this Lord.
I think the saddest thing for Maro is that, okay, wait, Zorn, well, figure safety, but yeah. I think the saddest thing for Maro is, as much as he tries to pressure the wave top side, it gets cut by Homeboy, so he ends up getting nothing, and he's gonna lose his tier 2 after so long, after all that effort. Conceal from Homeboys as well. Zorn looking for a pick, ain't gonna find it though. Again, flick a penalty zone on the 2. Sippa splits the fight apart, and Ness, he's able to get out, and Hiko in the midst of things. Implosion gets used by Savo, but the electrocution from Chibi is just way too strong. 10,000 votes and 2 kills for Homeboys.
And now even the bottom lane's mega creeps just marching in and threatening the throne. So Homeboys will take this middle lane.
And final slash onto Maro. Tempest of Blaze forced out. Nets is just face fighting Sunset Lover. And Team Spirits are going to be the ones not be able to see Sunset victory so far away, and Homebois looking to exact revenge. Kid Bomba next to go, a wipeout in front of the base. Homebois finds revenge and serves it up too cold, too old to Team Spirit.
What are we looking at? Sea supremacy? We are looking at Homebois being able to get a 2-0 on top of Team Spirit, and in the previous series, we are also looking at NIP Flash that managed to get themselves a 2-0.